In recent days, Arsenal has been the subject of intense speculation regarding a possible interest in young forward Rodrygo from Real Madrid. The Brazilian player, who has been standing out in Europe, especially in high-level competitions, has attracted the attention of clubs all over the continent. His technical skill, combined with a sharp game vision and impressive finishing ability, has put Rodrigo in the spotlight, making him one of the most talked-about names in the transfer market. However, it is the London team that seems to be closest to finalizing a deal. Arsenal's current situation, in search of strengthening its squad for the upcoming season, makes the possibility of a transfer even more appealing. The team, which has undergone significant restructuring in recent years, aims not only to reinforce its attack but also to bring in young and promising players who can contribute in the long term. Rodrygo, at such a young age and already established at one of the world's biggest clubs, fits perfectly into this philosophy. Moreover, the historical relationship between Arsenal and Real Madrid, which has resulted in transfers in the past, could facilitate discussions. The London club is aware of the stiff competition it will face, especially from other Premier League giants and clubs in European leagues. However, Arsenal's determination to secure Rodrygo shows that they are willing to do whatever it takes to bring the forward to the Emirates Stadium. Behind the scenes, Arsenal's management has been closely monitoring Rodrygo's performance, analyzing not only his statistics but also his impact on the field and the growth potential he still possesses. The young forward has already demonstrated his ability to decide important matches, and this quality is exactly what Arsenal needs to become a serious title contender again. Meanwhile, Arsenal's fan base is buzzing with excitement, with many supporters dreaming of seeing Rodrygo wearing the red and white jersey. Social media is filled with debates and opinions about the potential transfer, with fans expressing both optimism and caution as speculation intensifies. The anticipation surrounding this possible signing is palpable, and with each passing day, the anxiety grows to know if Rodrygo will indeed become a gunner next season. The scenario is unfolding, and the coming weeks promise to be decisive for the future of the Brazilian forward and for Arsenal's plans. The transfer window is approaching, and all parties involved are aware of the importance of this negotiation. Rodrygo, who joined Real Madrid in 2019 after shining at Santos, quickly became a key player for the Merengues. With his skill, speed, and finishing ability, he has been one of the main contributors to some of the club's most important victories in the last season. Arsenal's interest is not new, as the team has been looking for reinforcements to strengthen its attack. With the departure of some key players and the need for renewal, Rodrygo would fit perfectly into coach Mikel Arteta's plans. The prospect of having a young and talented player like him could be the key to the team's success in the upcoming season. Sources close to the London club claim that Arsenal is prepared to make a substantial offer for the Brazilian forward. However, the competition will be fierce, as other clubs, including Premier League giants and teams from other European leagues, are also eyeing Rodrygo. The conversation about Rodrygo's transfer to Arsenal gained momentum after the player shone in crucial matches last season, including the Champions League and La Liga. His ability to score goals in decisive moments caught the attention of Arsenal scouts, who began to closely monitor his performance. Additionally, the relationship between the two clubs is considered friendly, which could facilitate negotiations. Real Madrid has a history of successful transfers with Arsenal, and this could work in favor of the Gunners in their pursuit of Rodrygo. However, the final decision will depend on several factors, including the player's willingness and Real Madrid's needs. Rodrygo has expressed his satisfaction in Madrid, but he has also not hidden his desire to play in a competitive league like the Premier League. While Arsenal is optimistic, Rodrygo's situation is complex. Real Madrid is not willing to easily release one of its most promising talents, especially considering that the club has long-term plans for the player. The club's management believes that Rodrygo has a bright future ahead and can become one of the best forwards in the world. On the other hand, Arsenal knows that it will need to present a convincing proposal to attract the player. The offer should include not only a significant amount of money but also guarantees that Rodrygo will have an important role in the team. Coach Mikel Arteta is eager to bolster the team's attack and sees Rodrygo as an option that can bring not only quality but also new dynamics to Arsenal's play. The player's versatility, being able to play in various attacking positions, is one of the main attractions for the coach. Meanwhile, Arsenal fans are divided between the hope of seeing Rodrygo wearing the club's jersey and the fear that competition from other clubs may hinder the negotiation. On social media, many fans have expressed their support for the transfer, highlighting the skill and potential of the young Brazilian. Furthermore, British and Spanish media have not stopped speculating about Rodrygo'S future. Several newspapers have already published analyses on how the player would fit into Arsenal's tactical scheme and what the impacts of his arrival would be on the team. On the other hand, Real Madrid is focused on its season objectives and does not wish for speculation about Rodrygo to affect the player's performance. The club's management is aware of the potential distraction these news stories can cause and has therefore made a point of keeping Rodrygo out of the spotlight as the transfer window approaches. The situation is further complicated by the fact that Rodrygo is seen as one of the future stars of world football. At just 22 years old, he is already an experienced player in high-level competitions, and his transfer could mark a new era for Arsenal, which is looking to return to being a powerhouse in the Premier League. The summer transfer window is rapidly approaching, and the coming weeks will be decisive for Rodrygo's future. Both Arsenal and Real Madrid are aware that they need to act quickly to ensure that their respective strategies are successful. Meanwhile, Arsenal fans will continue to closely follow updates on Rodrygo's situation, hoping that the team can finalize this signing. The expectation is that if the transfer happens, Rodrygo can become a key player in the Gunners' attack, contributing to the club's return to the top of English football. In summary, the speculation surrounding Rodrygo and Arsenal reflects what is at stake for both sides. Arsenal seeks to rise again and become competitive, while Rodrygo has the chance to take a significant step in his career. The next season could be a turning point, and all eyes will be on this potential transfer. With discussions ongoing and interest growing, Rodrygo's future promises to be one of the most discussed topics in the football world in the coming months. As the transfer window approaches, speculation about his movements intensifies, involving not only Arsenal fans but also supporters of other clubs who see the young Brazilian as a rare gem. The decisions made in the coming weeks could shape not only the player's future but also Arsenal's fate in the fight for the titles it so desires. Additionally, the impact of a potential transfer for Rodrygo goes beyond the pitch. The arrival of a player of his caliber could revitalize the London team, bringing not only technical quality but also a new dynamic to the attack, capable of attracting sponsors and increasing the club's popularity among young fans. Arsenal, seeking a triumphant return to its glory days, sees in Rodrygo an opportunity not only to strengthen its squad but also to re-establish its identity as one of Europe's great clubs. The pressure on Arsenal's management is mounting as the transfer window advances. The executives need to act swiftly to ensure that Rodrygo does not become a target for other clubs, especially considering the interest from prominent teams across various leagues. Real Madrid, for its part, also has its own considerations, weighing what would be best for the development of the young forward and the continuity of its long-term plans. Fans, in turn, are becoming increasingly anxious. Social media is filled with speculation, analyses, and even mock-ups of how Rodrygo would fit into Mikel Arteta's tactical scheme. Each new update is met with enthusiasm or apprehension, showcasing the intense passion that football provokes. The expectation is that if the transfer materializes, Rodrygo will not only shine individually, but also help Arsenal reclaim its prominent position in the Premier League and European competitions. As negotiations progress, all eyes are on the next steps. Rodrygo will have the chance to decide his future, and Arsenal will need to do everything in its power to convince him that London is the right place for his development. The unfolding of this situation will be a true test of skill and strategy for both parties involved, and regardless of the outcome, will undoubtedly leave an indelible mark on football history. Therefore, Rodrygo's future is not just a matter of where he will play, but also a narrative that could impact the global football landscape. The intersection of talent, club strategies, and the dynamics of the transfer market are at play, and everyone is eagerly awaiting a resolution that could redefine expectations for the upcoming season. The big question that lingers is, will Rodrygo be ready to embrace the challenge of shining in a new environment and help Arsenal return to the path of victory? Only time will tell.